Hey guys, it's me, Vinny, back with yet another vlog. This is my third one today, but this one, as opposed to talking about Spider-Man for the first one and where potential drafts could be done, this one is going to be about my reaction to an early NFL regular season win-loss projections. Now, this comes from Nate Davis of USA Today. As most people probably know, those that have looked at this, USA Today usually lists, a writer usually lists their predictions way earlier than before even the preseason starts, usually like in July. And this is the time released today. And I have some thoughts on the matter. He lists his division winners, his wild cards, and even a playoff preview and playoff predictions of the teams he sees getting to the playoffs. So let's start in the order that they do it. Starting off in the AFC West, he has the Kansas City Chiefs going 10-7. Then he has in second place, he has the Denver Broncos also going 10-7. The Los Angeles Chargers go 7-10, and then the Las Vegas Raiders bring up the rear going 3-14. Now, obviously, this is just my opinion. He could be wrong. I could be wrong. He could be right. I could be right. But this is just for fun. There's a big disclaimer I want to put out there. But I will be upfront and say I don't see any way the Kansas City Chiefs go 10-7. Every single year with Patrick Mahomes at the helm, they've been by far the best team in the NFL. They've gone to an AFC Championship game every single time that he's been there. He's gone to 3 Super Bowls, won 2 of them. I can't see any way the Chiefs go 10-7. The AFC West, I do think, might get a bit tougher, but I still think the Chiefs will win the division, and I do think they'll have at least 11 wins. At least 11 wins, at most 14 wins, I'd say. The Denver Broncos being second with 10-7. I think 9-8 might be a bit achievable. I'm not sure about 10-7. They could be a very fringe playoff team, though it's mostly with Sean Payton at the helm. But if Russell Wilson doesn't look good this year, they can easily replace him. But, he has a huge contract, so I'd be a little wary about that. The Chargers, 7-10. Well, after being up 27-0 against the Jaguars in the playoffs, then losing to them 31-30, I think it's very much possible that the Chargers miss the playoffs going 7-10. That being said, on pure roster-wise, I think this is the second best team in the division. I still have the Chargers making the playoffs, but I do think they'd be maybe a 6 or 7 seed. I don't know about a 5 seed this year. The Raiders going 3-14. I'll be honest, I also see the Raiders going in last place. The health questions of Jimmy Garoppolo is a big concern of mine. Also, Josh McDaniels, he's probably going to be his last year with the Raiders. I feel that the Raiders will be in last place, though I'm always very hesitant to give a team with 3 or less losses, because that's a very, very bad team, and I'm not usually one to give that kind of a final win-loss record to a team. But I guess it could be possible for the Raiders. He has the Chiefs as the 3 seed out of this. Makes sense as they're 10-7. AFC North, he has the Bengals as first place, 12-5. The Ravens are in second place, 11-6. The Steelers are in third place, also 11-6. And the Browns, who, despite being in last place, are 10-7. That would make them the greatest last place team in NFL history by that pure win-loss metric. And, this hasn't happened before. I mean, it was very close last year. The Washington Commanders, despite being last in the NFC East, won 8-1. They literally finished 500. One of the best last place teams ever in NFL history. I do think Deshaun Watson will get better. He looked very rusty when he played in 2022. The Browns, I think, could be a sleeper playoff team. But I'm not sure if I would. I do think for just safety reasons, I have them as last place. The Steelers having a winning record, I think, would also happen, especially with Mike Tomlin at the helm. I think Kenny Pickett will get better. 11-6, that might be a little bit too high. I could see 10-7, though. maybe another 9-8, but I can't see 11-6. The Ravens also 11-6. This I couldn't see. The Ravens, I loved their draft. I loved what they did in free agency. The Ravens, I also would not be stunned if they were to win the division this year. The real question is with Lamar Jackson's health. And then, of course, the Bengals in first place. I don't have much of an issue here. I could easily see this going either way with them or the Ravens. So whoever wins it would be the Bengals or the Ravens win that division. But I wouldn't be shocked with either. AFC South, he has the Jacksonville Jaguars in first place going 10-7. The Tennessee Titans in second, 9-8. The Houston Texans 6-11. And then the Indianapolis Colts 4-13. The Colts, I'm not very shocked here. I mean, them and the Texans, they're two of the worst teams in the NFL. They were two of the worst teams in the NFL last year. Both teams have only a combined total of one nationally televised game, and that's the Colts game in Frankfurt against the Patriots. So both of these teams are going to have rookie quarterbacks. They don't have the best rosters. I think the Colts might be a little bit better. But I like DeMeco Ryans a bit. Who's the Colts' new head coach? Like the guy from the Eagles, I think. I don't know. I think whoever wins, it'll be one of those two. The division's going to be between the Jaguars and the Titans. And I also think the Jaguars will win the division also. They had a way more momentum last year. They have the better quarterback. They're turning in the right direction. Titans, I think, are going to have another losing season, honestly. I think this is going to be the Jaguars' season to lose, if I'm being honest. So I have the Jaguars also winning that division, though they could also easily just be another four seed. AFC East, this is another tough division. The Buffalo Bills, 13-4 as the 1 seed. The New York Jets, second place, 12-5 as the 5 seed. The Miami Dolphins, 11-6 again, like last year, as the 7 seed. And then the New England Patriots, who were in last place, go 7-10, which would, I think, be the first time since 2000 if they go in last place. Are the Patriots. Not getting to DeAndre Hopkins was not great for them. I still question about how their roster is going to be done. Even though I do trust Bill Belichick, the coach, and I do hope to see improvement from Mac Jones, I can understand why they're a bit lower here. The Miami Dolphins in third place as 11-6. That's possible. I don't know if they'll go 11 wins. I could see 10 wins, maybe another one with 9 wins, and they can make the playoffs that way. But I'm not sure if I see them like that. The Jets going 12-5. Listen, they would have made the playoffs if they had a better quarterback. So I can definitely see the Jets making the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers. Even if he's not the same as he once was, I can definitely see the Jets making the playoffs as maybe a 5 or 6 seed. And the Bills being the number 1 seed going 13-4. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, the Bills were really good last year. I mean, and if that game didn't get canceled and they were to win against the Bengals, they could have had the number 1 seed. But, it is what it is. The Bills have to. This is a must-win year for them, especially if they're the number 1 seed. They're the number 1 seed this year. And for the AFC, for the seedings, he has the Bills the 1 seed with their first-round bye. The Bengals would be hosting the 7-seeded Dolphins. The Chiefs would host in the 6-seeded Ravens. The Jaguars would be hosting the 5-seeded Jets. And the way he would see it, the Jets would beat the Jaguars and then beat the Bills. The Bengals would beat the Dolphins. Then the Chiefs would beat the Ravens. The Bengals would beat the Chiefs, but then the Jets would then beat the Bengals on the road, going to the Super Bowl. Now for the NFC. For the NFC West, he has the 49ers going 11-6. The Seattle Seahawks go 10-5. The Los Angeles Rams go 7-10, and the Arizona Cardinals, who actually end up with the worst record in the league, go 2-15. Usually I'm not someone to give very low win-loss records to teams, but the Cardinals definitely feel like they're going to be the worst team in the NFL this year, at least on paper. I mean, Kyler Murray's still going to be injured. They're not going to have any national TV games. J.J. Watt retired. You don't have DeAndre Hopkins anymore. This team's going to be bad. This team's going to be really bad this year. And I don't like their new uniforms either. So, yeah, they're definitely going to be the worst team. 2-15, it's possible. I can see 3-14 also. They're going to be not good. The Rams going 7-10. I don't really know what to make of the Rams. Are they rebuilding? Are they retooling? I'm not really sure. The Rams feel like in that weird area, maybe they can make the playoffs. Maybe they could also have another bad team. I don't know what to make of them. Seahawks, though, I actually see them winning the division this year. I think the Seahawks will be the best team in the NFC West this year. At least that's my prediction. I think that Geno Smith will get better. I think their defense will get better. I really like what I see for the Seahawks. The Niners, he has the 2 seed going 11-6. The quarterback is a big question. Granted, the Niners are competitive every single year, but there's still a question at the quarterback position. Is it going to be Sam Darnold? Is it going to be Trey Lance? I'm not sure. That's a big reason why. I still think the Niners are a playoff caliber team, but because of that, I still have the Seahawks win that division. NFC North is the Lions with 11-6, and then you have 3 teams going 7-10. The Bears, Packers, and Vikings in that order. I don't think this is going to happen. I do think the Lions are the best team in that division, and I think 11-6 is a real possibility for them. But I do think the Packers might be a bit better than people realize. Bears, I think, will be a bit more competitive. Vikings, I can see in last place. I mean, they went 13-4 last season, but they also had a negative point differential, and their defense was god-awful. I can definitely see the Vikings as a team on the decline, especially as they didn't improve their defense. Packers, it can be a bit sneaky, but I'm not too sure. You got to see how Jordan Love is. Bears, you got to see how Justin Fields develops. And the Lions, they do look the best team right now. NFC South, this is the worst division. Arguably, one could argue, but I would probably still say the AFC South based on this. This New Orleans Saints, first place, 9-8. The Atlanta Falcons in second place, going 9-8. The Carolina Panthers go 7-10, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go 5-12. We'll get into the Buccaneers. The only issue that I really have with them is the quarterback, because I like their offensive line, even though it did get beat up last year. I like their wide receivers. I like their defense. I think this team will be better than 5-12. Carolina Panthers, I also like what they're doing. I like seeing Bryce Young in his new role. I love him as the #1 pick. I think Andy Dalton as the backup is also a really good option too. Miles Sanders going there is also going to be a big help for them. I think this team will be better than that. Atlanta Falcons going 9-8 and making the playoffs. Ooh, I don't know about that. I know that some people have them making it, but I just can't see it. I think the Panthers are a better team in that division. And the New Orleans Saints going 9-8. It's possible. It's them or the Panthers, in my opinion, win that division. Derek Carr is as the quarterback. I like their defense still. So, yeah, I can definitely see the Saints win the division, but I don't see the Falcons also making it. And then for the NFC East, the final division, the Philadelphia Eagles, after going to the Super Bowl last year, are the 1 seed again, going 12-5. The Dallas Cowboys go 9-8. The Washington Commanders go 7-10, and the New York Giants go 6-11. Yeah, I would also say that I think the Giants will finish in last place, because Saquon Barkley holding out, this team that stuck in the playoffs 9-7-1. They had their loss beggar. It was better than the actual roster in the field. I think they're going to take a dip. The Commanders going 7-10. It's very possible. They're a team that seems like around 500-ish. The Cowboys, I could see taking a bit of a step back because of the injuries. But I definitely do see them as a playoff team. And the Eagles is the 1 seed. I mean, they're the best team in the NFC by far, at least on the roster, especially on defense. And for the playoff seeds, the Eagles is the 1 seed, Niners is the 2 seed, Lions is the 3 seed, Saints is the 4 seed, Seahawks is the 5 seed, Cowboys is the 6 seed, Falcons is the 7 seed. And for his playoffs, he has the Lions beating the Cowboys and the Niners beating the Falcons. Then the Lions beat the 49ers in an upset. And then the Seahawks beat the Saints on the road. Then they lose to the Eagles in the divisional round. And then the Eagles beat the Lions in the NFC Championship game, which sets up an Eagles-Jets Super Bowl in which the Eagles defeat the Jets in Super Bowl 58. I do not see an Eagles-Jets Super Bowl. I would say right now, I would guess. I don't know why. I have a feeling I would probably say like Bills-Eagles or something like that. But that's still very early. I don't make my predictions until after the preseason. But that's just my thoughts on the matter. So, Nate Davis, thanks for showing us your predictions earlier for the NFL season. We'll see what parts of it you get right. You see what parts of it get wrong. Anything's possible. All this stuff is unpredictable. But it sure is fun to give predictions and to give people's thoughts on it. So thanks, Nate, for making this. And thank you all for watching this video. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already to Zennie62 Media, and bookmark Oakland News Now for more. Peace out.